What's going on, guys? Stefan here, and today I want to talk to you about charisma. What is charisma anyway? Why is it important? And what can we do in order to up our game when it comes to developing, augmenting, and hacking into this absolutely crucial key quality in the game of attraction? So today I want to share that with you, and I hope that you're able to take away as much as possible from it. So let's go. Charisma actually goes back to the Greek charis, which means something like grace or favor. So a charismatic person then is someone who's able to draw attention to someone, right? And being able to portray a certain amount of aura, certain energy, a certain vibe that he has around himself. And then by virtue of those kind of qualities, he's able to capture the imagination of people, and they are inspired by the way he's acting, the way he's talking, the way he's presenting himself, and almost gets assigned a mystical sort of quality to him, right? Like, so you put people on a pedestal who you feel have a certain kind of charisma and a way of being themselves that you for some reason are not able to portray. And as a result, you are drawn to them, you are fascinated by them, and yeah, it is something so captive that it draws you in and you want to get your piece of the action. So how can we as men develop this quality in the fastest possible way in order to stand out from the crowd and develop this kind of aura, if you will? Very, very crucial things when it comes to developing charisma. Number one is storytelling. Storytelling is super freaking important. Why? Because when you tell stories, you're able to capture someone else's imagination. You're able to take them along a journey, along a pathway that creates images in their mind with you at the center stage of that journey, right? So what storytelling does is it builds value and comfort at the same time. And this is an absolutely critical and almost, life-saving freaking ability in order to create this aura, because you're able, by providing stories, you're sharing something of your life with a girl, right? You're not just sitting on the couch and whatever playing Xbox. No, when you are able to share stories about cool things you've done, or places you've been to, experiences you've had, and put those into a framework where by sheer presenting it, you're able to share that with a girl, then she'll be look at you as a more valuable person, because you're not just a freaking couch potato, right? Number two, it actually builds comfort. You by telling her the stories, she's getting to know you. She's getting a window into your personality, and that, my friend, is allowing her to feel more comfortable, more at ease around yourself. So that's storytelling for you. Number two, as a key critical component to building charisma, is improvisation. I cannot stress enough how important it is that you build your improvisation skills. Why? The reason being is that when you're able to improvise, you can deal with uncertainty. And there's nothing more attractive than a guy who is able to take any situation and yeah, take whatever is thrown at him and produce as a result something favorable for him or the people around him. That is essentially my definition of improvisation, right? So when you're able to do something like that, what does that do? It shows you you know how to navigate through life. You are a person who is trustable, relatable, and you know, who will be able to, yeah, navigate the ship through the storm when it gets cloudy, when it gets windy. Just like here, it's blowing right now, but I freaking love it, right? So when you're able to navigate through that, this is something absolutely, yeah, that builds this type of charisma, right? Something that people can't quite explain. How does he do it? It's like, oh, he's so witty. He's like, you know, he's whatever. Maybe say another guy makes like a joke about you, right? And you're able to come up like on the spot with like a comment to cut the guy in half, pretty much, right? But still in a fun, kind of cool way. To take something, to play along with that requires the ability to improvise. So as a practical step, what I recommend you is, you know, try to deal with uncertainty like that in such a way that you perhaps enroll yourself into like an improv class, right, where you're able to deal with something like that. That actually links into my third point, which is comedy. Comedy is also part of charisma, right? And the third component that is great to develop. Comedy actually, yeah, obviously you don't want to portray, become a clown with a girl, but to have a certain kind of witty, fun, nuanced way to bring your points across, that, my friend, will put you in a position where, you know, like you can tell stories, but if the story is boring and doesn't have any highs and lows around it, and then it's a plain story, right? It's flat. And what you're able to do with comedy and comedian ways of putting out situations and whatever comes your way, it creates chemicals in the other person's body, right? So laughter actually creates endorphins in the body, right? It's a feel-good chemical, and by eliciting this chemical response in the other person's body, they can't help but feel more comfortable around you, right? It's just like, yeah, of course, if someone's cracking jokes around you, be it your friends or, you know, some other people you're hanging out with, and like you're genuinely drawn in by these jokes, like, hey, like, you know, this person is instantaneously on your favorite list, right? Or imagine like watch the top comedians, right? The way they kind of get the crowd together. So that there is a key quality you should harvest as well. So obviously there's many more factors that build charisma and that, yeah, form an integral part of it. But what I wanted to do in this quick video is simply to share three really, I think, you know, highly important things that you can work on and develop independent of where you are right now, the way you look, or whatever other things you think are holding you back from becoming more attractive, more charismatic. So I hope this was helpful and that you're able to implement this as good as you can. Keep working on it. Obviously it's not a magic button that you just push and all of a sudden you're this dude who is bathing in pussy. It's not gonna happen like that. Let's be realistic, guys. But at least You know, these are tools which you can progressively work on, and whether it's by yourself or with as part of a group. So take up the challenge, work on your storytelling skills, work on your improvisational skills, and lastly, work on your comedy skills. Last but not least, I also of course want to address the do's and don'ts, or the pitfalls, if you will, of these points. So with storytelling, don't drag it out too long, don't make it too boring, you know, keep it concise, to the point, yet engaged, right? And with comedy, obviously you don't want to become the clown. You don't want to you know, be the entertainer, right? Who the girl's just having a bit of a laugh. There's obviously more qualities around that. And with the improvisation, don't rely too much on improvisation. It is great to have this skill, but also always keep in mind to have a plan whenever you go out, in order how to move things forward, how to make stuff happen. So this is absolutely key as well. So with that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I speak to you in the next video soon.